Sunday morning. Feel that ache inside my heart. I can't hold on any longer. I'm seconds from falling apart. Wasn't like any other summer. Soon it left that warm summer breeze. Although you gave me your promise that you were never gonna leave.
always driving me insane. Hello, hello. Even if we're hanging by a thread, what you said is spinning in my head. I just wanna pull you closer.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
What up, people? See you rolling in slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where I think I'm killing you softly with my song. I think it seems like I went to watch a replay of my show this morning while I was working. And I realized that for some reason, my volume is kind of low compared to other videos. I don't know what it is. And, I haven't changed anything on my system. All the levels are right. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But happy Friday, the 20th of December, 2024. Just a few days, short days until Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas. I don't want a lot for Christmas. But that's just one thing I need. Anyway, I hate that song for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't. It's funny because you know what song I'm talking about, don't you? I don't want a lot for Christmas. Oh, but there's one thing I need that I don't need. And I think it's because it's just not a Christmas song that reminds me of Christmas songs. You know, it's like, and problem is too, and I was, some of my son's friends or whatever, the girls especially, that's like their favorite Christmas song. And it's like, I don't think of it as, it's a Christmas song, but it's like one of those, I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. This is going nowhere. Anyway, budget battles getting wild, and I'm trying to figure out what miracle is going to happen today that they all decide to sign something so they can go home. I don't care if they go home, to be honest with you. And apparently but it's the deadline for the government to shut down. Oh no, as if checks don't go out automatically for half the shit they do. And then and also there's other news. But we're going to mostly laugh about budget things and do Friday Q&A. So who knows? Let's see what miracle happens today. Remember, Thomas Massey has predicted this, as always. But anyway, the first bill, the 1,500-page monstrosity, they punted that. Then they came back with just a continuing resolution to actually be, that's an actual continuing resolution, not some omnibus BS. And then that failed. And I think it failed mainly because they put in some stuff about, what did they put in? They put in, raising the debt ceiling. And I think there's a few in the House who saying, no, we're not doing that either. But it's interesting. Well, I'll get into it later. There's a whole bunch of stuff. We'll get into it. Let's say hi to everybody so we can get this thing started. First in the chat today is Willie won't leave the show, and he gets the bell today because Billy's his early. That didn't rhyme, but whatever. Willie's first in the chat today. Good for you. Also, and I think Mike Savage, Blark, is the second one. Somnambule Nation, good morning. My favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony. Also, good morning, Boneheaded Dumbass. Tyre, Alexander, The Scourge, and let's see. Selected Boy. Oh, Selected Boy, you're here early. Yeah. Nice to see you here early. There's not a whole lot of people here. What's up? Where is everybody? Reaction Puerto Rico is here. Attack Alpaca. Good morning. My honorable mention, the favorite Canadian race, Special K on Acid is here. Attack Alpaca, Anon 1, 2, 3, is here. And some of you are just rolling in slowly. It is Free for All Friday, also Friday Q&A, as you can see at the top of the thing there. The Free for All Friday thing is there, or not free for all, the Q&A. If you want to ask me anything, questions, they can be serious, they can be not serious, they can be whatever. It's ask me anything, and I will attempt to answer every question in a manner that is befitting of the question and within my morals and values. So we'll do our best to do that, which is pretty a broad way to answer things. Good morning, Renee Mayette. What's good, players? I have to bake all day and my car is dead. Oh no. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you. You baking cookies today, Renee? Is it cookie day? We didn't do Christmas cookies this year. We're kind of in bah humbug mode this year. I got to be honest. Like I said, we're not normally in our family. We do Christmas Eve. I make a big pot of chili on Christmas Eve, and we sit around the living room with the Christmas tree and talk and chat and then we have a bunch of hors d'oeuvres usually but this year it's like we had to change some things because my daughter has we're still gonna do something with my daughter, but they're gonna be it's the in-laws the other sides, and it's we just trade back and forth, so that doesn't bother me. But then again, my son can't come in this year because they're gonna be somewhere in Italy or some shit, I don't know, and I'm just it's we're gonna just hang out. Me and Lady Boomer and the grandmas are gonna hang out on Christmas Eve, and then we're going. Oh, and then we did get invited to a real cool Christmas dinner that another one of our friends is having on Christmas Day. But I'm just kind of I'm melancholy. That's what I should say. I'm melancholy because it's like we're not having the normal thing we do Friday night. Not Friday night. On Christmas Eve, and we've been doing it for. I don't know. We've been doing this for 15, 20 years in a row, and this is the first year we're not doing it. I'm a little down about that, but otherwise, I'm excited to have completed another year as we come up to the new year. Lots of things. I have so many things to be thankful about, so I don't necessarily need to dwell on that. So, anyway, one of these things is not like the other. What does that mean? Cookies, cupcakes, brownies. And mac and cheese? Wait a minute. Mac and cheese? What? Okay. Oh, shoot. That reminds me. I have another pan of mac and cheese I made at Thanksgiving that I froze because I made way too much. I could probably break that out and fire that up. Anyway, thanks for reminding me of the mac and cheese. All right, let's get into the show. I don't have a ton of articles open because it's Friday and we tend to have extra things going on. But what happened there? Why did that happen? Oh no! Does anyone get their notifications from locals? Did my locals account do the? Let me check here. Oh yeah, it did. Just my locals shut down, but there was. If you get your by the way, if you follow me on locals, I put that in the links every day. Those notifications come like as soon as I hit them, and I know that YouTube is pretty bad about notifications. So can I borrow it? Oh man, I make some killer macaroni and cheese. I really do. We do. I make a nice roux. I season it up really good and layer the cheese. Well, they'll do this first. You make the roux and then you add the milk and I shred all my own cheese. Because don't ever buy shredded cheese. By the way, if you are cooking, don't buy shredded cheese. They have this stuff on it that makes it so that it won't stick together, but it also makes it doesn't melt as well. So just buy a block of cheese, get a grater, and grate your own cheese. And put that in and melt that through the sauce, and then you mix that all together with the macaroni, and then you layer it with more cheese, and then you put a nice layer of cheese on top, and you bake that bad boy so there's a nice little brown crust on top. Ooh, Love me some homemade mac and cheese. I love making mac and cheese. I like to cook, if you didn't notice that. Anyway, good morning. Amazing Disgrace is in the house. So there you go. All right. Oh my gosh, I accidentally looked over and read one of the questions that just popped up. We'll get to that. Okay, we'll get to that. So anyway, let's get the show started. Things happening. It is Friday before Christmas. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, notifications. Oh, I got to thank people. That's what I got to do. That's what I usually do right now. Thank you for the people who are tweeting out the show. And if you haven't hit the Let's Go. So the Let's Go thing, by the way, I want you to give me a GIF or a meme or something in the Let's Go. Now, most of you do that, and that's great. But first, of course, Somnambule Nation has tweeted out the show, so I'm retweeting that right now. So here's the people who I need to thank. There's Somnambule Nation right there. We also got Let's Go from Somnambule Nation with, oh, that's cool. I like that. I'll retweet that too. Let's see. Then we got thank you, Action Puerto Rico and Mr. X for retweeting was that my post? That's a Let's Go you retweeted. Then there's one from Reaction Puerto Rico, Almost the Weekend. That's a good one. I like that. We'll just do one of those too. And then what else? Oh, and thank you, Amazing Disgrace. Oh, what is that? What is that from? I thought it's at first I thought it was the video for Radio Gaga, but that's not quite it. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So there you go. Thank you for dropping a Let's Go. Here we go. And then this one. Oh, look at the cat. That's pretty cool. Thank you, CG. That is pretty cool. I'm getting them all. I'm hitting them all. And then also people who've tweeted out the show. That includes Tyre Alexander, Swamp Fox Ghost, CG, Amazing Disgrace, Mr. X51, and Somnambule Nation retweeting the tweet of the tweet of the tweet. And then we got Ty throwing up the same cat. It must be Cat Day. It's not Catter Day. That's tomorrow. All right. So there you go. Thanks, people, for tweeting out the show. Now, also, as I mention every Friday, it's funny because I would get down to my little studio thing here in the basement and I forget that it's Red Friday. And so I kind of have red on for Red Friday, but it's not prominent. It is Red Friday. If you're not familiar with Red Friday, it's a day that people wear red in commemoration of people who are currently deployed somewhere away from home. So this person says, good morning, Patriot. It's Red Friday and wishing I could send a Merry Christmas message to all of our troops. That's a very nice message. Again, good morning, patrons and friends. It's Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed and so on and so forth. And then we have this young lady who, is Avocados Diablo here yet? I'm worried. I get concerned every time he's not here first. This lovely young lady who says it's thumbs up. It's thumbs up for your incoming President Donald John Trump. Please give a thumbs up if you're looking forward to his return to the White House. I'm sure U.S. vets will be looked after far better under his administration. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Watch this. Okay, wait a minute. Let me find this. What is it? Oh, by the way, P-Dog Night Not Live / merch. This show is brought to you by... There we go. The Unburdened store, hats, beanies, shirts, with the January 2025 Unburdened by What Has Been line, which is really the only line I have showing up right now. I also have a line, Global Warming Ever Since the Ice Age. That's on my Teespring line, but I haven't put that. I don't have links to that right now. I'm kind of revamping my Teespring store. So right now I'm using the Streamlabs store, so you can get those things here. Here's what I'm going to put. Let's see. So let's see. Copy image, and we're going to put that over. Let me find that tweet again. I'm going to reply to this young lady. Or I don't know if this is. Wait, is this her? Oh, that is. Well, it's in theory it's her. Oh, yeah, it is her. She puts real pictures of herself here. Okay, well, there you go, Steffi, here's what I'm going to do. Let's reply to this one. Put a thumbs up. Better than a thumbs up. a thumb. There we go. We'll put that there. And maybe I should put a link to the store there too. We'll put a link to the store too. All right. There we go. I don't even know if that's legal to do on X, if you're allowed to promote shit on X. I suppose you are. But anyway. All right. Good morning, Tyler F., by the way, and also Roasted Opinions has made it to the house. So good morning. All right, moving on. What else is going on? South Bend, Indiana is trending. Now, again, I don't even know why I make this caveat. I know this is not a sports show, but the college football playoffs are underway, and several of these games are going to be played in very snowy, cold places. A lot of these schools that are used to southern warm weather are going to have to play in the north. And so here's some footage of South Bend, Indiana. Whoa, turn that down. Turn that on. Mute that. Apparently, cars are already lined up in South Bend, Indiana this morning, getting ready for the Notre Dame's playoff game in the college football playoffs, which I'm so happy they've gone to a playoff system. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, the one of the great stadiums in college football. Lots of stadiums get prepared for that, but for some reason South Bend was trending. So there you go. Also, Core PCE is trending. Now, this is interesting. And a lot of people, here it is, breaking. November PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred inflation measure, rises to 2.4%. Which is below expectations of 2.5%. Core PCE inflation was 2.8%, below the expectations of 2.9%. However, this means CPI, PPI, and PCE inflation are all back on the rise. So what's next for the Fed? Normally when inflation is rising, the Fed is not likely to do any more rate cuts, but there's still people calling for Fed rate cuts. So, But I think they're also, some people are touting the fact that, oh, wow, it's going to be, it's below what they were expecting, but it's still rising. That's not a good thing. So anyway, Core PC at 0.11. I don't really get why Jerome Powell was so concerned other than preempting an inflationary Trump administration, but that is so uncertain at this stage. I still think the Fed would be better off just emphasizing data dependency and uncertainty. Okay, whatever. So the collapse of core PCE, 50-point basis cut, next cut, bullshitter Jerome. This is why, folks, we say what we say. We covered this in great detail last night. Fire your Furo, whatever that means. Hire me, link in the bio. Okay, no, we're not hiring you. So anyway, but lower than big letters, lower than expectations. Lower than expectations when it's still rising. Okay, whatever. So if you know what I'm talking about, feel free to inform others in the chat. Moving on. Big Lots is closing. Are you familiar with the company called Big Lots? They're they're those stores that sell I think they sell shit that people didn't buy somewhere else, and they buy it all and put it in their stores at supposedly a cheap price, and then they sell it. And apparently, Big Lots, the company, is going out of business. Apparently, Big Lots to begin going out of business sales at all stores. And someone here says the fall of Big Lots isn't just a retail story, it's a warning. When an economy prioritizes short-term gains over sustainable growth, even staples crumble. This is more than a bankruptcy. It's a mirror reflecting the cracks in our foundation. Wake the hell up, America! Now he put, let's see, this is a thread. Let me see where this starts. Breaking. Big Lots will begin going out of business sales at all of its 963 locations after failing to find a buyer after Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So they were reorganizing the company, and then they're going to try to sell it, but no one wants to buy it. So they said, no, we're out. I don't know what that means from the economy. It's just another retail outlet that's not doing well, and but others are doing well. It's it seems like the bigger the company, the better they're still doing okay. Big Lots replaced by Ollie's, basically. I don't know what Ollie's is. Apparently. All right, moving on. 25th Amendment is trending. That deserves a... So, apparently... I saw something that Juanita Broderick posted last night just as I was going to work. Apparently, Joseph Biden canceled Christmas plans. Well, here it is. Here's one of the tweets right here. Joe Biden flew back to the White House last night. Both he and Kamala Harris have canceled their Christmas plans to rush back to D.C. What is the emergency? What aren't they telling us? So here's this is from C-SPAN. Let's see what this is here. We'll play the video. Oh God, that's loud. I'm gonna guess. Okay, that's like Mr. President. That's like, sorry y'all. That's like, you know when what's the movie Dumb and Dumber? You know when they're in the truck and one of them says to the other, hey, you want to hear what the most annoying sound in the world is? And then he does this screeching noise with his mouth. That kind of sounded like that noise. But for some reason, so they apparently they had to come back to Washington, D.C. What's the emergency? They weren't telling us. This coincidentally happened the same day the reports of his senility from early on in his presidency came to light. Officially, they better not be transferring power to Kamala. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. So, and if you're not knowing what I'm talking about, there was let's find this real quick, because I forgot that I wanted to talk about this today. Let's do this. Oops, wait, no. I don't want the merch job. I want to look up Wall Street. There was a article in the Wall Street Journal. Let's see if we can find that. Let's see. Let's go Wall Street. Wall Street Journal Biden. Okay, so here is. All right. I want the actual article so we can put it in the links. Oh, verifying the device. What do you mean verifying the device? Kiss my ass. So there's a big article in the Wall Street Journal. And I want to do an archive version, though. I don't want to take any chances here. Oh, my God. A lot of these websites are... Oh, my God. Traffic lights. I don't see any. There's only two. I hate the verifies where they make you find the picture and you find something in the picture, but they put it in like different spots. But then one of them you think, okay, is that going into the second box or is that only in the first box? You know what to do. So here's the article in the Wall Street Journal, how the White House functioned with a diminished Biden in charge. Aides kept meetings short and controlled access. Top advisors acted as go-betweens, and public interactions became more scripted. The administration denied Biden was in decline. This is in the Wall Street Journal, article by Annie Linke, Rebecca Ballhaus, Emily Glazer, and Slobodan Hughes. Let's just start the beginning of the article, and then we're going to move on, because this is why the 25th Amendment is trending. During the 2020 presidential primary, Jill Biden campaigned so extensively across Iowa that she held events in more counties than her husband. A fact her press secretary at the time, Michael LaRosa, touted to a local reporter. His superior in the Biden campaign quickly chided him. As the three rode in a minivan through the state's cornfields, Anthony Bernal, then a deputy manager and chief of staff to Joe Biden, pressed LaRosa to contact the reporter again and play down any comparison in campaign appearances between Joe Biden, then 77, and his wife, who is 8 years his junior. Her energetic schedule only highlighted her husband's more plodding pace, LaRosa recalls being told. The message from Biden's team was clear, quote, "The more you talk her up, the more you make him look bad." Oh, really? We never noticed. We never noticed. It was just a stutter. Anyway, the small correction foreshadowed how Biden's closest aides and advisors would manage the limitations of the oldest president in U.S. history during his 4 years in office. Why are we managing the limitations of the oldest president in the history during his 4 years in office? Well, because he had limitations. Yeah, her name's Ballhouse. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Anyway, to adapt the White House around the needs of a diminished leader. I mean, you know what's funny about this? As I read this article, this much more. This is the first time I've read the article. I've been reading. I've seen clips of it, or excerpts from it. But if you read this article from the beginning, isn't it funny how they so casually described him as a diminished leader? Like, wait a minute, what? Isn't there something there where you should be talking about? Oh, wait. He was diminished the whole time. You knew this. Like, this is like they're writing it out like this is just common knowledge that he was diminished for 3 years of him being sharp, or when he's campaigning for the next time, he's sharp, and then they dump him because they realize he's never been sharp. Holy shit. To adapt the White House around the needs of a diminished leader, they told visitors to keep meetings focused. Interactions with senior Democratic lawmakers and some cabinet members, including powerful secretaries such as Defense Lloyd Austin and Treasury's Janet Yellen, were infrequent or grew less frequent. Some legislative leaders had a hard time getting the president's ear at key moments, including ahead of the U.S. disastrous pullout from Afghanistan. So, as if we didn't know this, as if we know he didn't have a cabinet meeting the entire last year of his presidency. We knew this. We knew he was diminished. You could see it every time he showed up on TV, or every time he gave a speech, or anytime he did anything. We knew his speeches were kept to 10 minutes because he couldn't talk any longer. We knew that when he do one State of the Union in 4 years, that they almost probably didn't have enough Adderall. What? So anyway, this article goes on and on like this. Apparently, looks like it. Senior advisors were often put in roles that some administration officials and lawmakers thought Biden should occupy, with people such as National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, Senior Counselor Steve Ricchetti, and National Economic Council head Lael Brainerd, and her predecessor frequently in the position of being go-betweens for the president. So I remember how I always say that I've always said he's not the president. His handlers are the president. It's a team of handlers that are the president. The puppet masters. Press aides who compiled packages of new clips for Biden were told by senior staff to exclude negative stories about the president. The president wasn't talking to his own pollsters as surveys showed him trailing in the 2024 race. So he didn't even know he was trailing, maybe. I don't know. Presidents always have gatekeepers, but in Biden's case, the walls around him were higher and the controls greater, according to Democratic lawmakers, donors, and aides who worked for Biden and other administrations. There were limits over who Biden spoke with, limits on what they said to him, and limits around the sources of information he consumed. They are... He's a bot. I mean, it's info in, info out. He didn't have any of his own, autonomy. The White House operated this way even as the president and his aides pressed forward with the re-election bid, which unraveled spectacularly after his halting performance in the June debate with Donald Trump made his mental acuity an insurmountable issue. Vice President Kamala Harris replaced him on the Democratic ticket and was decisively defeated by Trump in a shortened campaign, leaving Democrats to debate whether their chances were undercut by Biden's refusal to yield early. So anyway, this is the article. It'll be in the links. So now, people are talking 25th Amendment now because he suddenly comes back to Washington, and Kamala Harris suddenly comes back to Washington. Let me see. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna look at a couple clips from these people talking about this. So here's, or at least some posts about this. The very one at the top here. Some context here. September 2021, Biden official canceled his national security meetings based on whether he's having a good day or a bad day, according to the Wall Street Journal. August 2021, Saliza, CNN analyst, says GOP is. This is because they're okay. Listen, they're replying to Chris Saliza, who says this. An apology. As a journalist, I should have pushed harder on the very real question about Joe Biden's physical and mental health as a president. Talked about it here. Chris, I got a question. Who do you think you should apologize to? And when do you think you should have apologized? Should we watch Chris Saliza's apology? Drop a yes or no. Of the first 5 answers, I'll take that. The Foo says, maybe you should apologize for the time you claim the media doesn't pick a side. Yeah. Hello, by the way. Good morning, Rod Line, Shrapnel, Dom O'Leary. Nice to have you back. This is amazing. This is amazing. Hang on. I have to. Sorry, we're going to do it. I want to see what this apology is. This motherfucker. Hang on. This is 10 minutes long.
As a reporter, I have a confession to make.
Really?
I should have pushed harder earlier for more information about Joe Biden's mental and physical well-being.
No shit.
And any signs of decline. So let me explain. Joe Biden was president from 2020 to 2024. I worked at CNN through 2020.
Does Chris Saliza think we're all mentally incapacitated, that we didn't know that Joe Biden was he got that wrong though? What did he just say? Did he say from 2020 to 2020?
Joe Biden was president from 2020 to 2024.
No, Chris, he was not president from 2020 to 2024. Now I'm wondering about your mental capacity. He didn't become president until January 21st, 2021, you moron. He was running for president in 2020, but no, and guess what? He's still the president, idiot. He'll be president until January 20th, 2025. Jesus Christ.
I worked at CNN through...
Forgive me, Lord, for taking your name in vain.
2022. During that time, the early part when I was at CNN, 2020 to 2022,
when everyone was telling you he was mentally incapacitated,
Republicans would regularly ping me and say, why don't you ask more questions of Joe Biden and how he's doing? He's 76, 77, 78-year-old man. And I would sort of brush them off because what I would say is, well, there's no obvious evidence that he's declining. Yeah, he moves a little slower, he talks a little slower, but there's no evidence that he's declining. And the White House,
this is painful already,
and the people around Joe Biden were absolutely adamant that suggesting anything, asking the question about whether he was in some physical, mental, or both decline.
Oh. Now this should sound familiar to you. I mean, if you think about it. Remember back, was this 10, 12 years ago or whatever, when the climate change, remember what's that jagoff at the University of Pennsylvania, the climate change guy, and they found the emails that were saying something about hide the decline? Well, that's what they've been doing with Joe Biden. They've been hiding the decline, even from Chris Cillizza, journalist extraordinaire.
Was offensive. How could you?
Because it was
Age-shaming.
obvious. Hello, Green Badge
And I
Outdoors.
think that impacted me at some level because, well,
Because I'm a Democrat shill. Right, Chris? That's why. That's why.
I did ask the question from time to time.
Oh, did you now?
Not directly.
Did you do it in public? Did you? What did you notice, Chris?
The White House, but aides and people
Yeah,
around
your
in that
aides are
orbit.
right.
I didn't really push on it.
Oh,
if I'm being
because
honest. Now,
no shit.
once I left
No,
CNN,
because
and once it became a little bit more
Once you left CNN, once they fired your sorry ass.
clear to me about Biden's age, I think I did write pretty regularly and talk pretty regularly.
Fuck off! You
about
did not.
how I wasn't sure that this guy was up to it. And then obviously after the June 27th debate,
You lying piece of
everybody,
shit.
including me, was writing and talking about it.
Okay, I can't do it. Anyway, you get the point. I'll leave this in the links today. Chris Cillizza. So anyway, that's what this context of this response is. Some context: in spring 2021, Biden officials cancel his national security meetings based on whether he's having a good day or a bad day. August 2021, Cillizza, CNN analyst, says GOP questions about Biden's fitness are gross lowest denominator politics. So here's the thing about the bad day. And then here's Chris Cillizza. Republicans keep trying to make Biden's mental capacity an issue in 2021. Yeah. Because everybody who wasn't a shill saw it, or at least chose to see it, which you apparently did not. The point, this is some sort of gross lowest common denominator politics that drives people away from public life. If Republicans have some sort of proof that Biden is declining, they should bring it forward. If they don't, they should stop doing what they're doing immediately. Well, you had questions at the time, but you were just too afraid to ask. So, but here, here's interesting. March 12, 2024, Adam Schiff makes a public show of criticizing Robert Hur for including Biden's poor mental state in the Hur report. 9 months later, we get the Wall Street Journal article. Here's some greatest hits from Adam Schiff and Robert Hur.
In the rules, Mr. Hur, what is in the rules is you don't gratuitously do things to prejudice the subject of an investigation when you're
Look at Hank Johnson over there. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. See that he's the guy on the left, to your left.
declining to prosecute. You don't gratuitously add language that you know will be useful in a political campaign. You were not born yesterday. You understood exactly what you were doing.
Now I'm kind of curious how many meetings Adam Schiff had with Joe Biden, and if he ever had any questions about Biden's decline. They're hiding the decline. I wish I'd have had that as a subject of the show today. That would have been great.
It was a choice. You certainly didn't have to include that language. You could have said vis-a-vis the documents that were found.
Remember, because in the Hur report, Robert Hur said that, yes, he had all these documents, blah, 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 but we really just didn't feel like we should prosecute because, a jury would just see an old man with unsure memory or something like that. Basically, the decline that we're talking about right now.
Found at the university, the president did not recall. There is nothing more common. You know this. I know this. There is nothing more common with a...
Shut the fuck up. I'm not even playing the rest of it. You get the idea. And then here's Nicole Wallace. In the light of today's Wall Street Journal report exposing Biden as completely unable to do the job of the president for the last 4 years, I once again raise you this June 17, 2024 clip from Nicole Wallace, who spoke about a Republican plot to create insidious cheap fakes painting Biden as unfit for the presidency. Here's Nicole fucking Wallace, former she used to be a Republican staffer for somebody. I can't remember who.
There's a growing and insidious trend in right-wing media, broadcast, print, and social media. It is to take highly misleading and selectively edited videos of President Biden directly from Republican National Committee social media accounts and then use those videos to spread messages virally to cast doubt on President Biden's fitness for office. Here is this headline from the New York Post, quote, Biden appears to freeze up, has to be led off stage by Obama at Megabucks LA fundraiser. The full video.
Now, here's who I want to hear from now. Here's who I want to hear from now. I want to hear from Kamala Harris. I want to hear from Barack Obama. I want to hear from Jill Biden. I'd like to hear from Jake Sullivan. I'd like to hear from who's the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. I want to hear from everybody now how those meetings went. I want to see video transcripts, video and transcript of meetings, because we've seen a lot of them where he's barely there. We've seen the one meeting where Jill Biden basically ran the meeting and Joe just sat at the side of the table blankly staring at everybody. I want to know. When did they all know? Okay, they make a big deal about how Reagan's last year was probably handled a little bit. Well, let's hear about Biden's entire 4 years.
Posted by Biden finance chair on Twitter shows something entirely different.
Really?
Biden reacting to applause and then walking off stage with.
No, because they didn't show the whole video. They didn't show the whole video. Where when you see the whole video, you're like, oh, Barack Obama had to remind him that they were leaving and basically pulled him off by the elbow of his jacket.
Former President Obama. It comes less than 1 week after the New York Post made a cover out of another piece of deceptively edited tape.
Oh, deceptively
calling
edited.
Calling him meanderer in chief due to what they claim was Biden walking away during a.
Oh, yeah. Remember this? When they were in France, he kind of just wandered. All the parachute guys that come down here, everyone's looking at this, and there's Joe Biden wandering off this way. Yeah, that certainly was fake. That was certainly deceptively edited. I'm sure it was. And even the French president looked over and like, not the French president. What was she? I don't know who she was, but she's looking over like, hey, let's go reel him back in.
Diving demonstration during the G7 summit last week. The only problem is that the full video, which emerged almost instantly, shows Biden was going over to congratulate one of the skydivers who's cropped out of the video.
No, he wasn't. He was wandering over and everyone else is looking one way and he's wandering off somewhere else, not paying attention. Thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico. With a YouTube super chat who says, every time there's a Democrat cover-up hoax being created, you'll see Swalwell, Schiff, and Raskin know the players. Oh, you're damn right. Thank you for sponsoring the show. All right. We don't need to listen to the rest of it with Nicole Wallace. This is just hilarious that this came out. So, here, what's this? The funniest thing about the article is that the Wall Street Journal didn't mention the media's complicity in covering up Biden's very obvious decline. Not even once. Damn right they didn't. Even Jake Uger. Jake's being a little more truthful lately. Here's Democrats were furious with me for suggesting Joe Biden's mental decline had already begun in 2020. Now his own staffers admitted to the Wall Street Journal that they thought he was in decline the minute he stepped into office. Remember, their lies next time establishment Democrats tell you they know best. So anyway, that's why 25th Amendment is trending. So let's see what people are saying over here in 25th Amendment. Kamala Harris never Kamala Harris never wanted or capable of being president. She had weekly lunches with Joe Biden. There's no possible way she didn't notice his mental decline. Damn right she didn't. You know she knew. Her duty as VP was to start 25th Amendment proceedings. Instead, she kept denying any problems. So here's Kamala Harris when they were talking about this at one point.
Vice President Harris, you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years. Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all.
Oh,
not at all.
Because I hadn't officially been caught yet. See, he was sharp, and he's still sharp, and he just, these people.
Served with President Biden.
Look how hard she's thinking of something to say because she wasn't expecting a hard question from CNN. This is why she didn't do interviews. She was never ready for this shit. This is for the entire campaign. Anyway,
For almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly.
Oh, I totally believe you.
He cares so deeply about the American people. He is so smart and
sharp. Is he sharp?
And loyal to the American
smart and loyal.
People.
Good.
And I have spent
good.
hours.
Except for, well, as long as he's getting a check from some of those countries, that Hunter Biden was dealing with. I don't know.
On hours with him, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room.
Yeah,
he has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition that I think the
actually, she did pretty good at answering this. She's just lying through her teeth, but whatever.
American people rightly deserve in their president.
Okay, whatever. Let's see. Liberals are felonious Trump. Liberals are big mad over Elon Musk's influence, but had no problem 4 years with the faceless, unelected circle of people running the country for a mentally incapacitated Biden, so incapacitated that Obama and Pelosi threatened to invoke the 25th Amendment on him. Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did. That's why he dropped out. Biden was a shell of a man. It was obvious in obvious mental decline that everyone close to him not only knew it, but deceived us about it. But do go on about how we must invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Trump for how he holds a glass of water or walks on a ramp. There you go. People saying it really brutal report. Remember, 4 years top Democrats lied and covered, and the press devoted its energies to attacking anyone who mentioned the emperor's lack of clothing. I think I had a whole... I know I did a short video saying the emperor's new clothes. So anyway, let's see if there's more to this. No, that doesn't tell me anything. I really wonder what this emergency was that they had to come back. Jonathan Turley, the concealment of Biden's mental decline shows not only the failure of the media, but also the limits of the 25th Amendment. The combination of lying officials and enabling press left the system dangerously vulnerable as Biden struggled in office. The reason, too, if you look at some of the foreign press, the foreign outlets, like the one in what was it? It was I think Turkey or one of those countries over there have a whole Saturday Night Live skit about Joe Biden, about him being this bumbling fool, and it's just these people, these other countries who would walk him around like their elderly grandfather when he visits them. When he was in Angola just recently, the president of Angola basically had to guide him around and where to go, and people were snickering behind his back. It's, oh my gosh. All the talk of the 25th Amendment being used to oust Trump 45, but no apparent effort to do it for Biden. Why? Because the very cabinet members that would have to employ the 25th have more power with a mentally absent president like Biden in power. Oh, isn't that the truth? Morning, Stan Ulch. What's up? Nice to have you here. So anyway, so no one knows why they rushed back to the White House. There are rumors that they are planning on invoking the 25th Amendment to make Harris the first female president of the United States. Are the Democrats planning something with Congress that we the people did not vote for? Interesting. Let's see what this says. Update. This evening, Vice President will not travel to Los Angeles, California, will remain in Washington, D.C. The Vice President will be in Washington, D.C., where she will receive briefings and conduct internal meetings with staff. These meetings will be closed to the press. Maybe. Hey, now, here's another theory on this of why they suddenly had to come back to Washington. They're cooking up an emergency. Now, why would they cook up an emergency? I don't know, maybe something to do with the drones flying around the East Coast or something, but they're cooking up an emergency. What would be a reason to cook up an emergency? They try to figure out a way to do I dare even say it? Tell chat, you know what I'm thinking right now, don't you? If you do, put some scenarios in the chat as to why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in Washington right now. and why it seemed like an emergency and they canceled their Christmas plans. But if you can invoke some kind of an emergency, then you have emergency powers. Can they, what can they do? Somnable Nation, you hear me loud and clear, don't you? I see it. Could they delay the inauguration? Can they figure out some strategy to keep Donald Trump out of office? No, that's just, I'm not saying that that's what we're doing. I'm just spitballing here. YouTube, motherfuckers. To Abraham Trump. Oh my God. And now this is interesting. Mike Lee writes, is this a 25th Amendment moment? To which someone named Adam Johnson says, invoking the 25th Amendment would mean admitting they lied to the American people for 4 years about Biden's cognitive decline. No chance that happens. Yeah, that would be very, very bad for Democrats, because all of them would have seen this decline. I know they didn't have that on the screen, but whatever. All right, so that was a topic I didn't expect to talk about this long, so let's move on to something else here. Also trending, Tim Pool's trending. You got to see this video. So Tim Pool went off on this dude talking about January 6th, 2021. Oh, they got 10 minutes of it here with Luke Beasley. I don't know who Luke Beasley is. Is he one of Tim's guys? Or let's just give you the 3-minute version. This is, I don't know what happened to Tim Pool, but he went off on this dude. Here we go.
You have.
No,
right?
I
So
haven't.
No, stop. You don't know anything about these January 6 cases. You don't know why these people are in jail. You don't know that a man is in Brooklyn right now for 3 years without charge or...
By the way, I'll put the 10-minute version on this in the links, but it's also it's in the Tim Pool X links too.
Trial.
What up, Trippy Liberty? What's up, my brother? How you doing?
And when Donald Trump says these people have been held for too long, you say, no, Trump is wrong. Keep them locked up. That's fucking fascist. Dude, you've been sitting here with no knowledge of the specifics of some of these cases. There is a man in Brooklyn right now, I'm going to say it again, no charges whatsoever brought. He's been in jail for 3 fucking years. For you to sit there and say it is good that he remains locked up is fascism. That is saying the hierarchical system of the courts and the government is just, and the process is all that matters. And I am saying perhaps 3 years is enough, because I actually have moral logic and an understanding of these cases. Hence, my position on January 6th has always been the people who have attacked police must go to prison. But 3 years is a fucking long time for assault on an officer.
And not even an assault on an officer. This is when someone has no charges. They just have him there. They haven't even charged him yet. Been there 3 years. That's not Luke. Luke was there, but not him. Okay, that's who. I don't know who's the guy he's talking to. That's what I'm wondering.
I've seen people on the far left, notably when they were firebombing shit all across Minnesota, 33 people murdered. And how many criminal charges did we get for this? When they firebombed a police station and forced the police to evacuate. On May 29th, 2020, when thousands of far leftists firebombed the White House grounds and set fire to St. John's Church and injured 100 police officers, how many fucking people went to prison for 3 years? How many of them who never...
Oh, wait. Tim Pool upset about Harry Sisson lying? Is this coming from something that Harry Sisson said? I don't know where this came from. Here we go.
Showed up on that day are in prison for 20 years. Enrique Tarrio wasn't even in D.C. on January 6th. And you are saying that man his only crime was, quote, don't leave. That's his only crime. You think he should be in prison for 20 years because you're a fascist. You don't care what the facts are. You don't care if this is unjust. You only care that the machine state has decreed you are not to be locked up. And this is the problem I have with the left. They don't know the facts. They don't care about the facts. They view morality as a blanket government stroke of the pen, and every person, regardless of their crime, should be in prison for decades. I reject it outright. The people who fought cops should go to prison. They did. It's been 3 years. But when you've got people who are on misdemeanor charges for having walked into a building at 4 p.m. after the riot, and I know some of these people, they walked into a building for 2 minutes and walked out, and they got 18 months for that. I don't see you defending the innocent people who walked onto a public grass at a public building after a riot had been completed. You don't know. You don't care. You've taken a tribal position, and people are suffering because of it. Now you say that Donald Trump saying the injustice that we've seen warrants commutation or pardons. You say that means he's advocating for violence. This is the ultimate problem. Then you cite a press release from Maryland saying, but the right's more violent. There is a distinction between a white supremacist as a right-wing group and a run-of-the-mill Christian conservative who showed up on that day not to protest. Let's talk about Brandon Strzok. He never went in the building. He was on the other side of the building. There was a permitted protest. He walked up the stairs and he was yelling. They put this guy in prison. There is Owen Schroyer, who was at a permitted rally, who was yelling death to communists. They put him in prison and specifically cited his speech. My dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's fine. I get it. We try to be polite. We try to be nice. But there are so many young liberals who sit here and say, the corporate press told me that these people are bad, and the machine state government has decreed it by pen. So I don't care what crime they committed. I don't care what the jury said. I don't care who was on the jury. Enrique Tarrio, who was not there, should be in prison for 2 decades. Tell me this now. Why is Enrique Tarrio in prison?
He doesn't know.
They uncovered with him his plot to overthrow the government.
To overthrow the government? Really? His plot to overthrow the government? With what army? How was what plot? They made shit up.
Yeah, and his organization.
What plot?
What plot?
Who's they?
Exactly.
Give me some
prosecutors.
Give me some fucking data. Stop squinting at me and saying the prosecutors did a thing. You didn't know. You didn't read it. You didn't read the court papers. All you know is the fascist machine state told you he should be in prison, and you're saying yes to them.
Tim, he's already dead. Come on, leave him alone. What's a headshot? So there's a 10-minute version of this. And
you have.
Oh, hang
no,
on.
right.
Oh,
So,
hang on.
so,
Hang
no,
on.
no, no. Stop.
Pause that. There is. I'm gonna. Here, I'll put the 10-minute version in the links if you haven't seen this yet. I listened to the whole thing this morning. It was glorious, and I'm like, well, damn, Tim. Oh well, let's. You know what? I know it's Q&A day, but I want to hear the beginning of what this dipshit was saying. Let's hear the beginning.
The month that they should get. I do respect the fact that they were prosecuted in a court of law, and I don't think Trump to send a message to his base that what happened on January 6th was good, which is why he would do such a pardon, should be pardoning folks who were violent.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I think 3 years is long enough.
Yeah, and that's a wrong stance, but okay.
How's it wrong?
I just explained it to you.
No. You didn't. You said the court process should play out the way it is. My opinion on the amount of time should be served for a crime is not just wrong because you like courts.
No, I get that.
You need to explain
I'm saying
why the time frame I'm asserting should be longer than 3 years.
No, I'm saying the default, you have to have overwhelming, compelling evidence that someone has been wronged to justify a president stepping in and saying, I'm subverting the justice system outcome.
That's where he went.
Premise?
So
No.
the 3 years without a charge is not being wrong. That's even there's federal guidelines that I think the most is like supposed to be 90 days, and one guy's been in prison 3 years without a charge. Anyway, I'm not going to play this thing because it's 10 minutes long, but it is a separate link. Someone says, well, Tim Pool finally lost it on this young, smug leftist Luke Beasley. My dude, you don't know what you're talking. Well, yeah, we saw it exactly. Liberal influencer Luke Beasley sits in total silence for over 3 minutes as Tim Pool excoriates him in defense of the J6 prisoners. I wish there was, I don't know if there's anyone who is on Luke's side on this. Oh, no. The pay raise bill was really a bribe. I call it hazard pay. This is talking about the bill. So let's move on. It's in the links here. So there you go. Also 38. So now let's talk about this. We'll briefly talk about the bill that did not pass. So as I said, the 1,500-page bill basically was DOA after, a few calls from Elon Musk and actually Elon Musk tweeted about it, and he has 30 million followers, and some of these Congress people saying that as soon as that happened, they started getting phone calls. And so they realized that, no, this is not what people want. And so that 1,500-page bill went by the wayside. They came back with another bill, which took out all the crap from that. It was just a continuing resolution to keep the government running for till 90 more days until the new administration. But they added back in $100 million for disaster relief in the next year. They added in, I think they kept the pay raise in there, which they could just fuck off with that shit. And then they also added a raise of the debt ceiling for $4 trillion, which I'm not thrilled about at all, But, and I think they were trying to do that so that the debt ceiling raise was in place under the Biden administration, not under the Trump administration. And I'm like, look, if you're going to, this is where I will part ways with Trump on something. Now, if you're going to raise this debt ceiling, you own it when you do it. Okay. How about a better idea was, hey, how about taking that little Doge group that you got and figure out what you're going to cut out of it so we don't have to raise the debt ceiling because we're going to have a balanced budget. But, that would mean some pain for some people and especially researchers who get grant money for stupid shit. And all. But anyway, so 38 Republicans is trending because the second bill that was approved by Trump and Doge or whatever, I'm just saying it that way because that's the way they're playing it. That bill failed because 38 Republicans voted against it. And so now some of the 100% Trump people, like MAGA red, deep red MAGA motherfuckers, and I'm not saying that as a derogatory term, and I don't, I'm down with the MAGA people. But some of them are very upset at these 38 Republicans who voted against it and calling them rhinos and threatening to, primary them and all that shit. And so they're naming off all the ones who didn't vote for it. Now, I looked at some of the names of people who did not vote for it. And I thought it was going to be just the squishy, squishy middle Republicans. But there were people like Chip Roy. There are people like Thomas Massey, Nancy Mace. I mean, people who are kind of budget hawks. And I'm like, oh, okay, some of those make sense. Avocatus Diablo. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I was concerned. I hope you're well. And, my day is complete again now. So there we go. Oh, I see you got some questions already there. So anyway, they're excoriating some of these Republicans. 38 Republicans voted against the continuing resolution spending bill. And one of them was Nancy Mace, who acts like she's MAGA, but then does this. Don't forget, she was one of the ones who helped put Steve Bannon behind bars too. Primary her along with the rest. No. And they're targeting, and Cat Turd sees this as a total traitorous act against Donald Trump. 38 Republicans are so mad they didn't get a raise and couldn't add 1,400 pages of pork. Oh, shut that shit down and primary everybody. Fuck off. Some of these, okay, and someone here, the food. Now, this is how Maya reacted. And the new spending bill fails. 38 Republicans voted against it. I just have to laugh. I kind of do. So they didn't get their ducks in a row when they were putting together the continuing resolution, and I would like to know why specifically some of these 38 Republicans voted against it. I'm assuming, like in Thomas Massey's case, he votes against every continuing resolution bill because he believes that you should have the 12 appropriations bills that are required by law. That hasn't been done since 1997. And so I think he's voted against every budget, continuing resolution, an omnibus bill. He's voted against it. It's a principled stand. Okay? We don't need a win just for Trump. And I respect the president, but these people are like, we got to primary all of them until we get 100% sycophants. Well, what if Trump does something stupid? I don't want him to vote for things that are stupid. But, and I'm not saying this bill, this way to do it is stupid. I'm just saying, if you don't have your ducks in a row, then you got to learn how to do it, because next Congress, you're going to have even a smaller margin of error if you're trying to get things passed through the Congress. So, but here it is. Lobbyist donors are the ones who want the debt ceiling lifted. You don't have to trust me on this. Just think about it rationally. No ceiling, no more spending, more money for them. The 38 Republicans who voted no went against the lobbyist, and they should be commended for it. That's what I believe. I agree with that. If they did it on a principled stand that, no, let's not raise the debt ceiling. Let's do some serious austerity cuts in the government so that we don't have to raise the debt ceiling, or make it a very small raise of the debt ceiling. Or let's just get our shit together and try to balance a budget. And God forbid, some things will not have to be done by the federal government. You know, we got enough mandatory shit that is not helping us solve the deficit debt crisis. Oh, and see, to them, that's not a crisis. See, they say climate change is a crisis. I say our debt problem is a crisis. So, and here it is. Here's another one that I totally agree with this. I feel very, very discouraged to see many influencers turning on some of our biggest fighters in Congress. Instead of going after the 38 who stand on principle and not raise the debt ceiling, but also didn't support the continuing resolution, why are they going after the people like Republican Congressman Greg Murphy, North Carolina 3, who was for the original continuing resolution? Or why not just go after the Democrats who are responsible for this entire mess? Why eat our own strong conservatives, especially over something like the debt ceiling, when no one really wants it raised in the long run? Even if the 38 had voted yes on the American Relief Act, it still wouldn't have passed. So what is the end goal here? To get rid of strong conservatives because we don't 100% agree all the time, just so that we can replace them with weak sheep-like Republicans that will ask how high when Trump says to jump? I'm one of Donald John Trump's biggest and longest supporters, and I have never wavered in that support, even as I have been under investigation from the federal government for the past 4 years after January 6th. So don't you dare come at me and say I don't support him. But are we not allowed to have people in the party who are individual thinkers that may have different ideas every now and then? Someone please explain it to me. I feel very disheartened. So 100%, I'm even going to retweet that shit. There we go, repost. So yeah, they're mad though at these 38 Republicans. So, and then, but then again, I have to laugh because Alex Soros is trending, and because a lot of the Democrats, they're jumping on this bandwagon. Oh, remember we talked about how President Musk, Elon Musk. Oh, there's an original thought. Talking about how the influence of billionaires on our elected officials like Elon Musk. Oh, did they forget about Alex Soros, who owns all these politicians? Here's a picture of some of the people he's with. Who's this? That's Nancy Pelosi. Oh, that's Pete Buttigieg. Oh, that's Bill Clinton. Oh, that's Eric Swalwell. Oh, that's Barack Obama. Oh, that's Pocahontas. Oh, that is what's her Hitler? Whitler. Whitler. Oh, there he is with Ilhan Omar. Oh, there he is with Kelly. There he is with Tim Walz, Adam Schiff, Gavin Newsom. I mean, these Democrats taking pictures with fucking Alex Soros. Gee, I wonder if he has any influence. Is he a billionaire? I'm pretty sure he is. So go fuck yourself with your complaining about billionaires influencing politics when you guys suck up to more. In fact, there's more billionaires supporting Democrats than there are supporting Republicans. So fuck off with that noise and get real. Other things trending though, Connecticut. Oh, now this is great. I'm going to give you the shot and then I'm going to give you the chaser. First, this is Representative Rosa DeLauro talking about this budget thing. She's very upset that we're not passing the budget the way she wants things. And basically, I'm doing this for the visual.
Read on a bill.
They signed it.
Agree. And
hold on. No. We did not agree on a bill. We know the leadership in a committee or a budget committee came up with some bullshit, and the entire Congress didn't agree on the bill. Sorry, Toots. But anyway, again, the visual is the most important here.
What? They got scared.
What?
Because President Musk.
Oh, that's the theme of the week.
Told them. President Musk said, don't do it.
Good.
Don't do it.
Good.
Shut the government down. Imagine. What does he know about what people go through? Is when the government.
By the way, you're gonna hear a lot of sob stories because they cut out cancer research for children. They cut out our military is not gonna get their paid. There's vital programs and people aren't gonna get their checks, whatever. Motherfuckers, you could have put forth 12 appropriations bills over the last 12 months, and we wouldn't be having this question. You haven't passed a real budget since 1997, assholes. But anyway, I wanted you to see this lady. And
Shut down. Are his employees furloughed? Hell no.
Oh, yes.
Is he furloughed? No.
Why did you wait until, what's the date? December 20. Why did you wait till December 17th when the deadline was the 20th? You waited until December 17th to even put a bill on the table for people to look at. Nobody was going to read 1,500 pages in 3 days. If this was so important about people being furloughed and people getting this, blah, 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 why didn't you have this done a month ago? Oh, but you can be mad now and talk about doom and gloom. Then pass the continuing resolution just to keep it funded enough at the current levels until we go pass a real bill next year.
The government down, people don't get paid. And maybe if none of us got paid if the government shut down, some people on the other side of the aisle would feel differently. So
anyway, we don't need to listen to everything she says. But so this is this is an actual member of Congress. Well, we finally figured out what this is, who this is. Okay, we finally figured out who this is, and it's also trending on X right now. It's Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. It's Perry Farrell's not looking too good these days. Yeah, Perry Farrell. Jane's Addiction's trending right now because that's what they're calling her, Jane's Addiction. Perry from Jane's Addiction. Where is he now? This is
President Musk said, don't do it.
Yes,
don't do it. Shut the government down. Imagine.
Okay, so anyway.
What does he know?
Shut up. All right, let me get through the other trending things, and then we'll go to the board. Oh, so anyway, so now a bunch of different Congress people are being raked over the coals. Of the 38 Republicans, Chip Roy, for example, Cernovich says, even so, I had no idea Chip Roy was a George Floyd worshiper who tried to keep Liz Cheney in power, and he worked to remove one of the most effective state attorney generals in decades, Texas AG Ken Paxton. So now they're digging up shit on Chip Roy. Chip Roy rejects call to remove Chairman Cheney, whatever. Now, I think this is in bad faith. Certainly you could have done something to say, on behalf of George Floyd when that shit was going on and not be a bad congressman or a bad Republican. Certainly, what did he say here? Thank you, Professor, for sharing this. This terrible tragedy should never have occurred. I'm so thankful to know Mr. Floyd is with our Heavenly Father. He's responded to someone who said nice about fucking George Floyd. So what? And at the time, January 13, 2021, rejects call to remove Chairman Cheney from the House GOP leadership. I think he had a principled stand on that too, even though I'm glad she's fucking gone. But so now they're ripping into him. They're ripping into Nancy Mace. Representative Nancy Mace says, the quiet part out loud, Congress knew they needed to create this CR spending bill 85 days ago, but they purposely leave it to the last minute to scare the American people with government shutdown. They want their goodies. 100%. Listen to Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace joins us tonight. So, Congresswoman, what the heck is happening in Washington?
I sure wish I knew, Jesse, but you're right. I agree with you in your monologue. We've had plenty of time to hash this out. This should have never been left to the last minute. The last short-term CR we did was on September 26th. We've had 85 days.
So September 26th. So that's not, it's 85 days ago, right? A few months ago. And they did not do anything about this. What did the Budget Committee do over those 85 days? When they did a continuing resolution in September, knowing that the deadline for that continuing resolution was December 20th, 21st, whatever, what were they doing all that time? Is that how they came up with the 1,500 pages? And why did they wait till 3 days before you needed to pass it to put it on the table? You think the senators, remember, the Senate, they can talk a lot longer about this kind of stuff. I don't give a shit about a bipartisan agreement because the people didn't like it. And guess what? The people are your boss.
Figured out. We've known since November 5th that Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. And so we've had time to figure this out. We're doing what Washington always does, which is leave it to the last minute, scare the American people with a government shutdown, which really isn't a government shutdown. But there are lots of guardrails in place. If there is, and even Newt Gingrich said today, we shouldn't be afraid of one.
Yeah, they lie about they lie about, oh no, the Social Security checks won't go out, and the military won't get paid, blah 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 blah. Oh my gosh, the provision for childhood cancer research that we just put in the bill this year that's new that you can't. Oh my God, they voted against child cancer research. Look, fuckwads. When you come back, you can put a separate bill for child cancer research. How about that? Catch me outside. Or actually, you can actually start putting together those 12 appropriations bills when you get back in January. It's all sob stories from the Democrats especially.
The bill tonight, I was one of 38 Republicans that did so because the CR tonight spent the same exact amount of money today as it did in the one yesterday.
Oh,
and
so
she
did it on principle. They got rid of all the electric buses and all the migrant money. Didn't they get rid of it?
The 1,000+ pages that were deleted, it's not the number of pages that matters, it's what's actually in those pages. So the 1,000+ pages that were removed really had to do with authorizations and not appropriations or spending outlays. The actual CR in the bill yesterday and today was only about 9 pages. We all agree that we need aid for hurricane victims, but my proposal is if we were to do this as a very short-term CR until President Trump is elected, get us through till January 20th. I don't want to continue Joe Biden levels of spending months into Trump's presidency. Or let's do single subject bills. Let's vote on the foreign aid. Let's vote on farm and agriculture. Let's vote on spending in the CR. Let's do it separately. Okay. This would have been a lot easier.
Right. I mean, but what have you guys been...
Okay, there's more to this interview, but that's the point. Some of these Republicans who voted against it did it on principle. I don't care. I just don't care. Look, the automatic guardrail functions of the government continue. The air traffic controllers don't get furloughed the minute that the government supposedly shuts down because it doesn't really shut down. Right, Tyre, is that right? By the way, thank you, Tyre Alexander. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Streamlabs Super Chat. Tyre Alexander says, when I know I have a deadline, I don't wait till the last minute. I do shit early. Honestly, shut the government down. People don't understand the concept of short-term gain for long-term harm. Do your fucking job on time. You want a raise? Earn it, cunts. Oh, damn, Tyre. Exactly. All right. Now, there's a whole bunch of other shit that I wanted to talk about. There's and I think Posobiec, has a bunch of stuff going on. Oh, back when Nancy Mace said, I think of Zelensky like George Washington. Well, she's learned her lesson. Come on. Oh, and also someone's putting out death threats to all these CEOs. Well, here's someone apparently has a death threat for Elon Musk. Folks, please do not forget Musk is a CEO of several companies. I say it again, he's a CEO. Do that information what you will. Hey, really? I think maybe the FBI should be visiting you, motherfucker. So anyway, it's pretty amazing. All right, let's do this. Let's do Friday Q&A because I got to get out of here and I want to do Friday Q&A before we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Friday Q&A. All right, guys, let's go to the bin here, the Q&A bin, and see what's happening for Friday Q&A as soon as this thing gets out of my way. I can't see here. All right. Why is that not going away? Let's try this again. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll do this as live chat, and we'll do Q&A over here. Maybe. There we go. Q&A. All right. There we go. All right. I hope this is the first question. First question today is from Somnambule Nation, who says, is this the first? Is this the last question? Oh, is this the first? Is this the last question? Yes, it is. And thank you for the first. Is this the last question? Thank you, Somnambule Nation. That's beautiful. Tyre Alexander asks, how long do you think the shutdown will last? 3 days. It'll be 3 days because all these motherfuckers want to get home for Christmas. And look, something miraculous is going to happen. I guarantee it. It always happens on the December times when they're doing these stupid continuing resolutions or whatever bills for because the government's going to shut down. Oh, God forbid. It'll last at most 3 days because they all need to be able to get on a plane by Monday or Tuesday. So it ain't gonna last long. And if it does, if they have to stay in Washington, have to fly their families to Washington, I don't give a shit. Do some real work, motherfuckers. Stop playing with the American people's money. Tyre Alexander asks, if the government shuts down long till it's okay to eat your neighbor, how long is it? Well, how long is it okay till you? Is it? Oh wait, if the government shuts down long till it is okay to eat your neighbors, I'm asking for a friend. Okay, I get the question. It didn't roll off the your typing that well. Yeah, no, don't eat your neighbors, guys. It's not going to be that long. Trust me. Tyre Alexander asks, who would win in a sumo match between Tess Holliday and Lizzo? Oh, Lizzo would whoop her ass. At least Lizzo is, while she's fat, she's also fairly athletic for a large woman, and she's been working out, trying to lose some weight. She's got some muscle. She's flexible. She would whoop Tess Holliday's ass. Somnambule Nation asks, how is a melancholy baby different from a Cabbage Patch Kid? Well, a Cabbage Patch Kid, I remember the Cabbage Patch Kid, but this is a joke. The Cabbage Patch Kid smells like sour farts. Whereas a melancholy baby would have a sweet smell of melon. That is the best I could come up with. Tyre Alexander asks, if she blinded me with science, is it acceptable to bludgeon her with logic? Okay, remember earlier in the show when I accidentally glanced over the questions and I chuckled at one of the questions? That was the question I chuckled at. If she blinded me with science, is it acceptable to bludgeon her with logic? Well, sure, why not? As long as that's just a metaphor. Okay, so Lord Stanhope asks, are you having a good Friday? Well, I sort of, kind of. I had to spend $350 on a brake thing yesterday because I couldn't. It was too cold to do it myself. I already had the part, but And then they fixed a couple other things on my truck. So at least I'll be able to drive today. That's a good thing. Sovereign Nation asks, is it true that if your mac and cheese is inferior due to its lack of sawdust-covered cheese? Is it true that your mac and cheese is inferior due to lack of sawdust-covered cheese? No. My mac and cheese is made in the tradition of black people making mac and cheese that make fun of people who don't know how to make mac and cheese. That's how good my mac and cheese is. Lord Stanhope asks, just to piss off AD, can we have a moment of loud prayer for him? Oh Lord, please bless this Q&A on a Friday. We want it to be very funny and enlightening. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Does that work? Okay, there we go. Lord Stanhope asks, as a professional bartender, what's your opinion on using blue curacao? Here, it has a purpose. It makes for a festive looking drink. It's basically just this similar to triple sec, basically flavor-wise. But, it gives you a little variety for the visual variety. So, what the hell? Lord Stanhope asks, oh, you did this again. Oh, there's another one. As a professional bartender, how do you feel about the use of grenadine? You got to be careful because it sweetens drinks a little too much, so you got to use it sparingly, and sometimes people go overboard on grenadine, unless, of course, it's for a little kid in a Shirley Temple, if you know what a Shirley Temple is. Lord Stanhope asked, to be fair, you can't attend Christmas parties when you have passed. Your decomposition will stink up the place, and that's a sign of no class. Okay, that's some very cogent advice for people who have passed who want to attend Christmas parties. Lord Stanhope says, as a professional bartender, what is the best spirit to use for an old-fashioned? Remember, you can use rum, whiskey, tequila, brandy, cognac, or Armagnac. Yeah, an old-fashioned is bourbon, okay? That's all. Whiskey or bourbon. That's the only acceptable old-fashioned. Anything else is just, Although, unless you call it a brandy old-fashioned, I wouldn't use cognac because, it's a little more, too much. You don't need sugar with cognac as much. The reason they came up with these cocktails originally is because during Prohibition, the booze was so bad, they had to do some things to make it taste better. So they mixed it with juices and other shit so that wouldn't taste so crappy because, bathtub gin wasn't always the greatest gin. Look, Somnambulant Nation asks, could you please demonstrate your level of shock when you found out Biden was running the country in a diminished capacity? Thank you. Thank you very much. Lord Stanhope has, as a professional bartender, in your honest opinion, what would be the best whiskey to make an old-fashioned with, type and brand? Look, I don't like using high-end whiskeys for making old-fashions, so I stick to something simple like Maker's Mark or, I'm not a fan of Jack Daniels as much, but Jack Daniels or Maker's Mark or something, just not a quality bourbon or Tennessee whiskey that's not super expensive because you're changing the composition of it using the sugar and the fruit flavors. Somnambulant Nation, who is your favorite game show host and why? Kind of a toss-up. Chuck Woolery. Not Chuck Woolery. Chuck Woolery's not bad too, but it's hard. Alex Trebek, I think, was the greatest game show host ever. He was perfect for Jeopardy. May he rest in peace. Lord Stanhope, as a professional bartender, what is the best whiskey to use in a Manhattan? Remember, you don't need to use bourbon, just whiskey, type and brand. Again, I'm going to say the same thing. It can either be bourbons or, it can be Canadian whiskey like Canadian Club or Seagram's or no, Seagram's is not Canadian whiskey. What's the other one that, well, anyway, whatever. Any decent whiskey, but don't use high end stuff because it's a waste of high end whiskey to use it in a mixed drink. Laura Stand-Up, another bartender. Oh my, lots of bartender questions. As a professional bartender, are the quality of mixers, vermouth, triple sec, peach schnapps, is overlooked by most people when crafting cocktails or mixing drinks? Overlooked? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I mean, again, when you're doing those types of cocktails, they don't necessarily have to be as quality as long as they have a good flavor. And so it's honestly, like peach schnapps, triple sec. I mean, vermouths, maybe, yeah. You'd want to use a quality vermouth for like Manhattans and martinis. Thank you. But like the sweet ones, the triple secs, the peach schnapps, the process to make them are very similar, and there's not really a difference between quality, unless you want to use something like Cointreau instead of triple sec, or use Grand Marnier instead of triple sec, like in a Long Island or something, to give it a little bit richer flavor. But it can be. Another one. Let's see, where are we at? That's it. Laura Stand-Up, do you appreciate the gift of a Trump presidency? I don't consider it a gift. I consider it something that was necessarily needed, whatever, and absolutely desirable. Laura Stand-Up, what is your thoughts on HB running ads on live stream midstream? I haven't noticed it because I didn't know he's doing that. It doesn't show up in the replays. Oh, you know what? I think he doesn't. I don't know. Does he do it on purpose? Or are you talking about the ones he makes up? Because the ones he makes up are hilarious. So I'm not sure if is he running YouTube ads in the middle of live stream. I haven't seen him live for a long time, and so I don't know. Lord Somnambule Nation, what's your number one coping mechanism to avoid hammering your balls flat from reading these articles on a daily basis? I have very, very thick skin, and some of them are just funny to me. So there you go. Lord Stanhope, how viciously would Tim Pool masturbate if he actually got his Civil War? Holy shit. I guess it's okay to see on YouTube. He would rub the skin right off his dick. Okay, Somnambule Nation. Should Tim Pool be brought up on murder charges after that rant? Oh, yeah. I'm surprised that isn't already in cuffs. Lord Stand-Up, do you invest in the genital makeup company, and how much? Just heard about that. Is that I thought that was just a joke. Is that real? Yeah, I don't know. Avocados Diabli says, hey, babe, you come here often? 5 days a week. Avocados Diabli, I just got here. Can you give me a quick rundown of the show, but do it in the voice of Foghorn Leghorn and do it backwards? No, I can't. Boy. Avocados Diabli, why do they seem to be making new overpasses with lanes that run in the opposite direction for the short distances they cross the highway? Or is that just something that only happens here? No, there's a couple places where I've seen that, and I'm like, why the fuck did they do this? I know exactly what you're talking about. Like where the lanes cross after the light and then you're on the other side, then you exit or whatever. Is that what you're talking about? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea why they started doing that. And also, I don't know, where you live, are you starting to see roundabouts pop up every fucking where? I'm seeing more and more roundabouts. And also there's places in town where they take out the left, like the turning lanes, and they make it so that one side of the road can only turn one way and other side of the road can only turn the other way. What's going on with that? It doesn't help anybody. It makes it very hard for people to get to where they want to go too. Where are we at? Patio. Happy Friday, Patio Furniture. Lord Stanhope, what's for dinner tonight? I don't know. I got to start making chili for next week though. Tonight, I don't know. We might just have pizza tonight. Lord Stand-Up, will you have a good weekend? Yeah, it'll be all right. My weekends are kind of shot because I work so much, but I think Lady and Boomer and I are going to do something chill tomorrow night. Maybe go to a movie or something. Avocados Diabli asks, shouldn't we be canceling funding for cancer research on children? Seems that money would be better spent researching cures for cancer. not researching giving his cancer. Yes, yes, yes. You are so right, Avocado Stabby. You are so right. We should be researching cures for children's cancer. Lord Stanhope asks, as a professional bartender, when a brawl breaks out, where do you hide? What's the best weapon that isn't a broken bottle? And what's the best bottle to break and go stabby stabby? Okay, first question, where do you hide? I'm 6'4", 280 pounds, built like an offensive lineman. I don't hide. What's the best weapon that isn't a broken bottle? Headbutt. And 3, what's the best bottle to break to go stabby stabby? A Jack Daniels bottle, because it's square, and when you did it, you get nasty little corners on it. That's a good one. All right. Not that I've ever done it. Jethro Header asks, do you ever smoke cigars or the ganja did you ever smoke cigarettes or the ganja as a youth? I tried smoking cigarettes, never liked it, so I stopped. I mean, it's just like, that's one of the things that back in those days, it's usually around 4th grade, you try a cigarette, and you're like, oh, that's just nasty. And I just never kept going. The ganj, my problem is I can't smoke pot. Okay. Here's to smoke pot. I can have the same effect by just standing in at one place and slowly turning myself in a circle. That's what it did to me. And I'm like, I don't like this. I'll stick to drinking beer. So there you go. There's the answer. Select Boy asks, if you were a boxer, what would your nickname be? The punching bag, because I don't box well. So here's the thing. When I was a kid, my best friend, next door neighbor, there were 4 boys in that family. And they were boxers, legitimately boxers. They go to the boxing gym and they all were boxers. In fact, 2 of them were Golden Gloves champions in Nebraska. And the older boys, because me and the youngest were best friends, we were the same age, and then there's one who's 1 year older, and then the other two were older. And one of their hobbies was to try to get their younger brothers, my best friend and the one above me, to fight. They thought that was funny because they were older, and they'd say, oh, he did this and said something, so why don't you fight him? And we're like, we're best friends. We don't want to fight. And they would make us fight. And I wasn't a boxer. I hated it. And plus, I don't like getting hit. However, I may have invented the art of MMA because of that, because I was much larger than my best friend and the other brother. And whenever they would make us fight, I would just tackle them and pin them to the ground and twist their arms so they couldn't hit me, because I hated getting hit. So I may have been the original mixed martial artist, because that's, wrestling and pinning people and twisting their bodies into weird positions that hurt became my forte. So that explains why if I were a boxer, my nickname would be the punching bag. Or the middle linebacker, because I would just tackle the motherfucker. Okay, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay, this has got to be lightning round, because I'm already late. Avocado Diablo, do you think there exists an animal whose shit is actually super delicious? Oh my God. It would have to be some sort of seafood. I don't know. Avocado Diablo, what would you consider to be the most disconcerting thing about one could see in the toilet after you got done going to the bathroom? Only things that come from inside you count. Well, I think a 14-foot tapeworm would be kind of disconcerting. You'd be like, what the oh, that was inside of me? Okay. Lord Stanham asks, which member of Congress would you like to catch leprosy? You can name as many as you'd like. Well, let me just start with Jamie Raskin. And Adam Schiff. That's enough. This is lightning round. Avocado Diaby says, why is it that Nancy Mace is the only woman in Congress that does not sound like one of the teachers from the Peanuts to me when she speaks? Maybe it's because she's from the South, although her accent is not that pronounced. Somnambule Nation, is this the penultimate is this the last question? No, it's not. Lord Stanhope, will you have a Merry Christmas? Melancholy. We already explained that earlier. Select a boy. Who on The Simpsons has a plan that's good on paper but horrible in execution? Oh, obviously Homer. He always has a plan. Never works. That's kind of written into the script. Shrapnel. Who would win a fight between a grizzly and a tiger? Oh, man. That's tough. I think a tiger probably would. They're both strong as hell. But neither of them could beat a hippopotamus. Okay. Woodcutter. Are you almost ninja? No. I'm not sure what that means. Avocado Sally, as a professional bartender, shouldn't you keep a large stick behind the bar to hit people with who ask you questions about things as a bartender? I had one of those. Anyway, Avocado Sally says the last question. No. Select a boy, what's for supper? We said pizza. Stop Double Nation. This is the last question. Is this the last question? Everything after this is null and void. No. Avocado Sally, if you could have a prehensile tail surgically attached and it worked, would you? No. I would have to cut a hole in my jeans, and I like my jeans. Avocado Diablo, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Have you ever woken up covered in honey dust with a stop sign taped to you in a vat of barbecue sauce? Again, the very specific questions that have me concerned. Is that why you were late this morning? And finally, Avocado Diablo. And the last question for Friday Q&A. Avocado Diablo asks. Now, is this the last question? Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. I'm already beyond late, so we're going to close that and close that. All right. There's a few extra articles in the links, plus the aggregators in the link today, so I'll put that there. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I am streaming all next week, probably every day that I normally would, even on Christmas Day. So if you are bored Christmas morning, you are certainly welcome to come join me on this vast and beautiful platform. And let me drop the links in the chat today. Here are the links. And there we go. That's it. I gotta go. I'll drop the links in the description too. My name's P-Dog Knight. I am out of here. Have a lovely weekend. Bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.